Hey y'all, hope this is not going to be too long of a video. Let me just check. Okay, I'm back, y'all. So 2023 is coming to a close very, very soon. There is a lot going on in the world. No surprise at all. I just wanted to basically make a video about self-care real quick because I think a lot of people are taking on stresses and mental health conditions and all types of bodily negative energy that they really should not be having to take on, to themselves. So first and foremost, I just wanted to say that I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. That's really the message I have for today, you all. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of stuff out here, especially on the internet, that quite frankly is just like beyond hilarious. These multimillionaires are, going on, the internet, going on social media and crying and, saying how they have the worst anxiety. They have so much anxiety. They're so scared. Oh, like this is nothing new. This is absolutely nothing new. I've talked about this on my channel, and in different ways, in different seasons. I've come on here so many times and told you all that the world is going to get worse, but personally, on a personal level, for those who are focused and driven and confident and strong mentally, yes, mentally strong, our lives are going to get better. Our families are going to get better. We are going to be striving because the facts are the facts, right? The facts are the facts. So from my perspective, when I see people making all this money off of fear mongering and everything else, which I'm not participating in, I'm not going to come on here and, get into any of that, because to me, I think it's so counterproductive and silly. It's silly. As long as there's going to be, the powers that be and religion especially and everything else, there's always going to be issues. There's always going to be issues. So, I'm sure like all of you out here, I watch the news when I want to watch the news, but then, if I hear something I don't like, or, I feel like there's a lot of negative energy, I'm not going to dwell on it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel bad about that. I think everybody has their own personal stance and opinion. But 2023, at least for me, I love this year. I'm saying, like, all the news coming out, all the hysteria doesn't change a thing for me. I'm saying? Because I have learned through life that, what we can control, we can control. What we can't control, we can't control. We have, presidents, and we have world leaders speaking for millions and millions of people. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things that Joe Biden says or has been saying, I don't necessarily agree with him, but what am I going to do? You see what I'm saying? He's speaking for all of America, and yet Americans are struggling, but no one's coming to take care of us. You see what I'm saying? So my perspective is totally different. I'm not surprised in the slightest. I don't even know how people are surprised at this point. It was, Russia versus Ukraine, and now it's, conflict in the Middle East. It's been going on for centuries. This is not something that has just happened last week. You see what I'm saying? Like, this has literally been happening for decades, for centuries. So I am not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all. This anxiety that people are speaking of, I can't relate to it. I don't know what that feels like. Like, we're good over here. You see what I'm saying? We're good over here. a lot of messed up things happen in America. And, I don't see people crying tears like that. I don't see people, getting on their knees, what I'm saying, donating all this money. I don't see it. But people are concerned about things that have nothing to do with them. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's through religion or ancestry. If it's ancestry, then they have something to do with it. But if you're not even connected in any way at all, I don't see how the world is going to stop. Okay, so 411, the world is not going to stop. I've warned about this. I've even spoke about New York. Different. I've spoken about different things throughout the years, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world is going to get worse. Like, I can't say it in any other way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've come on here so many times and said to you all that if you're not mentally strong, you're going to have a lot of issues. So because I care about you all, and because I care about the state of your mental health and your body, my focus is, are you okay? You know what I'm saying? Are you guys out here okay? You know what I'm saying? Do you have a warm meal in your stomach? Is your bills paid? You feel what I'm saying? Are you achieving your goals, your dreams? Because here's the thing, if the world is gonna end, have you lived a good life? Have you been able, can you confidently say today, if the world is ending or was gonna end, at some moment, can you confidently say that you've lived a good life, or you just been surviving, you've just been getting by? And that's what I want to avoid. So yes, the world is going to get darker and darker and darker. It is nothing new. It is nothing new at all. And people are gonna perish every single day. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna keep happening, guys. So I'm just speaking to people that are, literally losing their minds and having mental health crises and not going to sleep. I've seen so many people on social media saying how they can't sleep. They're so worried they can't. Well, listen, you're not God, and I am not God. We're not the Alpha and Omega. We're not the direct source of everything, and that's not our job. So our job is not to sit here in fear and anxiety and fear mongering. That's not our job. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, there's been, on my personal YouTube channel, there has been channels that are just full of it. Even pastors, pastors predicting things that never came true. I'm not going to name drop, but I really want to. And I unsubscribe from him because I'm like, you know what? Y'all are just touting BS. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are just touting BS that doesn't exist. That's not real. And it just, what just happened just proved that y'all are just talking out your butt. You know what I'm saying? Just talking out your butt. So for me, I feel like I've worked too hard. You know what I'm saying? I've worked too hard for this peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've worked too hard. And yes, I'm mentally strong. Yes, I am. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to those who are not. I hope that you will get on that track to train yourself to be mentally strong, because, some people are not mentally strong, guys. Some people are just, one crisis away. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even because of other people. Sometimes it's because people put themselves in bad situations. You see what I'm saying? And then they come on the internet and they act a fool. So me personally, I'm tired of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of the doomsday kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? What's established doesn't need to be talked about. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what's already common knowledge, I don't have to beat a dead horse about. Like, if anybody just opens up a history book and reads about the history of certain territories in the Middle East, they would understand why this is happening. You see what I'm saying? So, America, especially America, is so quick to help everybody else get in everybody else's business. But then we have, our homeless population in America is growing by the hundreds and thousands, right? Domestic abuse, kids without a home, a safe, clean home. We have our own problems over here. And that just goes out the window. Nobody wants to help their common man, but then they have all this energy for a territory they never even been to, have no connection to. It's weird to me. It's weird to me. So, I ain't gonna post no picture or nothing, because I don't see the point. I'm saying this has been happening, it's gonna keep happening. And if people are not mentally strong to see thousands of people, on camera with their body parts all mismangled and stuff, well, then you're gonna be in a world of hurt, because it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. So, keep that in mind. What I'm saying? Like, luckily for me, I set it up in a way where this year was leaps and bounds better than 2022. 2023 was way better than 2022. Okay. And no matter what they try to pop on the news, it's not going to change that fact for me. I'm not going to have every, couple of weeks, something knock me off my focus and off my peace that I have built for my family and for myself. Because, if it was vice versa, would they care about me? Would they care? I mean, I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, I'm saying, like, people put a lot of energy in things that don't have nothing to do with them. I'm saying? Me personally, it ain't got nothing to do with me. What I'm saying? So, I can, feel sad once from afar, whatever. But, like, I think that people are, and even with celebrities, I think people take on other people's dilemmas like as their own, which is not smart, because if you do that for every little thing in the world, where's the energy for you? Where's the time for you? Where's the sleep for you? All these people talking about how they're not sleeping. Well, you're causing that. What I'm saying? You're choosing not to sleep because of something you heard on the television that has nothing to do with you. And even if it has something to do with you, you can't stop it. Okay? If they say World War III is going to happen tomorrow, you can't stop that. So I'm a little confused as to the people that, they're not thinking clearly. Like, this is not in your control. Okay. Especially if you live in America, this is not in your control. None of this happening in Europe and happening over here and happening over here and happening over here. Nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with us. Okay. Except financially, of course, because that's what America cares about, is the money, the oil. So that's my perspective, guys. So you're not going to catch me posting things that have nothing, that you're not going to catch me siding with anything, posting really anything about anything in particular that I feel has really nothing to do with us. What I'm saying? Because if the shoe was on the other foot, for a fact that they would not, they wouldn't care, and they don't care. So, that's just my perspective. So while you guys are freaking out about this and that and this celebrity couple and this, oh my God, this, your own life is whizzing by. What I'm saying? Your own well-being is plummeting into the ground because you're focusing on things that have nothing to do with you, and you're putting your life force and you're putting your energy into low vibrational things, and it's like I can be on Twitter, and I kid you not, there's people that I follow on Twitter that are literally from those territories in the Middle East, and they're hardly talking about it. Like, can I be honest with you all? Like, I follow some people on social media that are literally Middle Eastern, and it's like I am, sometimes I feel like I'm reposting things more than they are. What I'm saying? So it just puts things into perspective. Like, you got to be careful where you're putting your energy, is all I'm saying, because you don't know what is the real truth behind the matter. There is some people that have been reporting about it that I'm not going to name drop because I'm not getting paid to do that. Plus, why would I? And, they bring up things that I think just is common sense, what I'm saying? But not everybody is going to gravitate or know those kind of speakers that are really talking about why America cares about X, Y, and Z, and it comes down to money. It comes down to money, and oil. So whoever's going to give America money, that's who they're going to side with. You see what I'm saying? And that's always been the case, guys. So, Halloween's coming up, Christmas is coming up, Thanksgiving's coming up. What I'm saying? Shopping season's coming up, winter, fall, beautiful winter. And that's how it's going to remain over here. I'm saying? There's certain people that I've had personal experiences with that I think are very nasty people. I'm saying? I'm not gonna say which one. I'm saying? Karma's a bitch. You see what I'm saying? Karma's a bitch. So over here, I'm happy. I'm at peace. And I just want to be that example for y'all. So if you guys are listening to people that are posting all this stuff, raising up your heart rate, what I'm saying, making you freak out, giving you anxiety, you can't sleep, you can't eat, well, you're doing it to yourself. And at that point, I'm not going to feel bad for you. What I'm saying? Like, I cannot feel bad for people who are doing it to themselves. You see what I'm saying? Like, if it has something to do with me directly and like my family, oh, that's, even then, what I'm saying? Even then, like, what I'm saying? Like, nobody said life is fair, okay? And life can be very brutal. Life can be very brutal. Human nature is not pretty, right? So I have to chuckle, I have to chuckle when I see grown adults that are literally losing their minds because of something that has nothing to do with them. Like, that's confusing to me. And not just with that, but in general, they're being sucked into, celebrity stories and other things like that have no impact on their life. I mean, they're not even getting paid to report it. If it's different. If I drop a video about a celebrity couple, I'm getting paid to talk about it. It's a difference. But if you're not even getting paid to talk about it and you're losing your mind about it, well, you don't have your priorities on straight. Like, something's wrong with like how you think, because at that point you're putting yourself last. You're putting everything above yourself, and that's why you're not succeeding in life, and that's why you're not getting good sleep at night. So, all the crap that I've been through in 2020, and now we're in 2023. I knew that ish wasn't going to get better. You feel what I'm saying? I knew that ish was not going to get better in this world. And I came on here and I told y'all that. I don't know how many videos I made of prediction videos. If y'all have been, day one subscribers, y'all would know that. What I'm saying? Like, I've come on here and told y'all about dreams I've had and warnings. I mean, I think I have at least like two or three, at least one warning dream that I've put out here on YouTube from a couple months ago. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm not telling you all. So the thing is, if I'm telling you all in advance, because I have a prophetic gift, yes, I do. I'm not going to call myself a psychic. People can call me a psychic, but I don't call myself a psychic, just to be clear. And I've come on here and told you all, like, the world is going to get darker. Maybe I should change the title to that. Hold on. I got to think about it, y'all. Because I want people to know that this is like a general, end of the year video. Because my title is very cutesy, but I also want to be able to reach the title to those people who maybe don't know what I'm talking about and are maybe not even subscribed yet and are trying to figure out, what is Simone talking about? Well, what I'm talking about is having a good, sane, strong, healthy mental health. That's what I'm talking about, because some people are ingesting a lot of this news, a lot of these videos, and they're not even mentally stable. So so number one, if you're not mentally strong, you're not mentally stable, don't be there consuming this kind of news 24/7. I'm saying? If you feel you're going down a rabbit hole and you're getting too involved, whether it's politics or whatever, or religious debates, stop yourself. Stop yourself, because that could cause people to be triggered, right? And to spiral. And there was actually a couple instances I saw up in New York that was going around on Twitter of different people And not just New York, but there was other places in America, popular cities in America, where I was seeing people fighting in the street, losing their minds, like literally going crazy. And I'm like, bruh, don't you have bills to pay? Don't you have a meal to cook? Don't you have kids to take care of? Like, you're taking your time out of your day to go fight a stranger because of what kind of flag they have in their hand. Like, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're getting too deep into the matrix, bro. They're getting too deep into the hypnoticness of the news. The news is a program. The news is designed to keep you stuck in a trance. And the more you I've literally taken a class in high school called television production. And the guy worked for a network and literally explained to us like how the lenses and the music and the vibrations, all these different things, literally keep you like in a hypnotic trance. And so I'm telling y'all, not just from professional experience and people that are on the inside working at these stations and stuff like that, it's all designed to keep you stuck. It's all designed to keep you in a low vibration. So even myself, I'm speaking from like the truth of the matter. Like, I can watch something and be like, oh, that's horrible, that's sad, blah, 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 blah. But then once I feel like my own vibration is being affected, once I feel like my own health is being affected, I have to move on, I have to move on, because at that point, you're taking something from me that I'm never going to get back, which is time. A multi-millionaire, a multi-billionaire, you know what I'm saying, can never buy time. The richest woman on the planet can never buy time. So just be mindful of that, guys. Don't get into fights with people, whether in real life or on social media. It's not worth it. Yes, it is better to keep your own personal stance to yourself. It is better to keep it to yourself 1,000%. But if you find yourself in a situation where someone's questioning you, or you're at the wrong place, wrong time, that's going to be on you. You know what I'm saying? Because like I've been seeing things go around, people, getting into altercations because one person has this flag and the other person has that flag. And now they're fighting. So you see how quickly this is escalating. You see how quickly this is going, the direction it's going in. So not just that, but we have the election next year. We have the US presidential election next year as well. So I'm just seeing this from like a bird's eye view of like where this is going, you know what I'm saying? And it's not, in terms of the world can always get worse, guys. The world can always get much worse, you know what I'm saying? Always. So try to find techniques and try to find things that if you are panicking, if you are anxious, if you are unhappy, if you are depressed, try to find ways to get out of that. You know what I'm saying? For the sake of yourself, try to find ways to lift yourself out of the darkness, because it is a gift, it is a privilege, it is a blessing, and we are fortunate, right? We are fortunate to be in safety. You see what I'm saying? So take advantage of that safety. Take advantage of the fact that you can wear a nice blanket, you can have a hot meal, you have a nice bed to sleep in. You could take a shower and any kind of temperature weather you want, any kind of temperature of the water and the weather you want. You know what I'm saying? Have a heart of gratitude. Have a heart of gratitude, and that's going to take you a lot farther than where majority of people are at. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that these people that are talking about, not sleeping and having anxiety, I hope that they're just joking, because like I could never relate to that. I can't even imagine being in such a mental state where you can't even sleep, and it's not even in your control. You know what I'm saying? Like wisdom is knowing what you can control and you can contribute to, and what you cannot. And so if you cannot do nothing about what's happening with whatever it is out there, whether it's celebrity, politics, war, religion, whatever, if there's nothing you can do on a mass level that's going to stop people from hurting each other, then why are you going to sit there and get depressed when other people are happy? When other people are enjoying the holidays? Because I want to enjoy the holidays. You know, I'll be frank with you all. Like, I want to enjoy Christmas. I don't think last year I got to give out candy for Halloween, but I want to. You know, I don't have to you know, follow people's certain guidelines of what's celebrating Halloween and what's not celebrating Halloween. It's a freaking holiday. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to give kids candy, you know what I'm saying, and play cool tunes, then that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to get back to a place, you all, in life where we are happy again, where life is normal again. You know, and if the world is not showing me that, and this is a part of manifestation, if the world is not showing me that, then I'm going to create that for people that I love and myself to the best of my ability. That's my mentality right now. It's like, we've been through enough. I feel like I feel like we've been through so much already, and now to end the year on a negative note, I think just would make no sense. Like, it would make no sense to me, because this year has been fabulous. So I just feel like, me personally, I'd rather just like focus on like what I can control, and say a prayer where I can say a prayer, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that are in charge of these different countries, including America, they're going to do what they want to do regardless, guys. You know, if my dog, I'm back. So, you know, the way I see it is like, if Joe Biden you know, wants to declare something tomorrow, or send a bunch of people somewhere tomorrow, you know, we have no say in that. You know, they're not asking us to vote. They're not asking us to do anything. These people that are in charge of these major countries and commonwealths are going to do whatever they want to do, guys. Whether we agree or not, these people are going to do whatever they want to do. So what the hell I look like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now, once again, just like the pandemic stopping everything because they want us to, and now we're all sick. Now we're all depressed. Now we're all out of control. Like, that to me is not wisdom. That's not wisdom, guys. And so, you know, a lot of people are spiraling, you know, and actually, I'm going to put this in the video. Around the holidays, people tend to spiral anyway. People tend to spiral anyway. So if they're going to be congesting all this negativity, all this sadness, all this trauma, and then on top of that, they have financial issues, they have relationship issues, and then on top of that, they're scared about what's going to happen for the election, what's going to happen here, what's going to happen there. How are you going to be a healthy individual? How are you going to, first of all, how are you going to survive? Can I just be honest with you? How are you going to survive? How are you going to have a good sleep at night? I'm just saying, how are you going to have a good sleep at night if you're taking all this on your mind? It's not healthy, guys. I'm not saying not to care. I'm not saying not to have your own stance of what side you're on. That's personal and private. That's why I'm not on here telling y'all my business, because that's not any of y'all's business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not on here for that. I'm never gonna engage in that. That's not my specialty. I don't care to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's a waste of time, quite frankly. But if you're gonna take on the world, right, on your head like that, you're gonna be depressed. And if nobody else out here is gonna tell you the truth, well, I'll tell you, you're gonna be depressed. You're gonna be in a world of hurt. You're not going to have a good Christmas. You're going to be sick. You're going to get yourself sick. I'm telling you. You're going to go out there in the world. You're going to fight somebody because they got a different flag than yours. It's going to be a nightmare. Okay? So those who are going towards, ingesting all this, fear and anxiety, I cannot relate. I'm not going to relate. I'm not going to join you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I've worked too hard for this peace of mind. I've worked too hard for this peace. I worked too hard for it, guys. And a lot of you out here have as well. A lot of you guys have made it through the pandemic storm. You've made it through people passing away. You've made it through financial loss. A lot of you all out here have overcome a lot of your own crises, right? So we deserve to be proud of ourselves. We deserve to celebrate that we're alive. And so if you have privilege or, you have security and safety, why not enjoy that? I'm going to enjoy it. Let me tell you, when I heard on one of the reports that they were shutting off all the water and all this stuff, I'm just being not too much, but I'm just going to be honest. That made me look at my shower differently. That made me look at my house and where I live differently. Because there's people right now, guys, that cannot take a shower. And it may sound funny. I'm not trying to be funny. There's people literally out here that don't have hot water to clean their ass, And a lot of us thankfully, we live, whether you have a bathtub and a shower or just a shower, whatever. Hey, you got a shower. And you got clean water to the best of the government's ability. Wink, wink, nod, nod. And, we can wash our hair. We can clean our body. We can exfoliate. We can, do sugar scrubs. We could do all these cool things. And there's people right now that cannot do that. So that's how I'm looking at it. Is instead of joining in the sadness, bask in the gratitude for what we do have, because people don't have that. And so if we have it and we're not being happy for it, we're not acknowledging how lucky we are. We're not acknowledging how lucky we are. And I know this is a whole different perspective, but that's the whole point. That's the whole point, because I want to turn a negative into a positive. I want to transmute this, and I'm trying to use what I'm seeing for the greater good for me and mine, and for you. I'm trying to have us look at it from a different perspective, because a lot of people don't see the light, literally, they don't see the light. This is how they are every day, in darkness, mentally, emotionally. They're in darkness. But all they have to, what is that guy that just passed away with Harry Potter? That is a perfect moment to look up that quote. What is that guy, Dumbledore? What was the quote? What was the quote? I'm gonna find it. Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times when one only remembers to turn on the light. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's the quote. That's the quote. That's the message. Even in the darkest of times, if one remembers to keep on the light, they will find peace. That's the point, guys. So I encourage you all, and you guys are intelligent people. I don't have dumb subscribers, thank God. So, I don't, no offense to anybody else, but I have subscribers that I know, have a life. You guys have a life, and I know you guys do. And so I just want to remind us, I just want to remind us that, there is a silver lining to all this. You see what I'm saying? There is. And the world can get darker and darker and darker and darker, but it should not change the light inside of you. It should not change the light in you, because even with these holy books, these religious books, they say you are the salt of the earth, you are the light of the earth, and you is a light, and you is a truth. So spread happiness, spread light, be grateful, take care of everything you see in your house that people don't have. Take more care of it. Your car, your shower, your cooking utensils. And I know it may sound funny, guys, but I'm not trying to be funny, but like, look at it from a different perspective, because someone's always gonna have it. Why do you think they say that the poor gets poor and the rich gets richer? Someone's always gonna have the better side. Let's be honest. And that side is us. Right now, we don't hear any war sirens. We don't hear any bombs outside. Right? We don't. Is that fair? Is that fair that we are not in a war zone and millions of people are? Is that fair, or is that just life? I don't know. You guys be the judge. But what I've learned about life is someone's always going to be in a better spot than somebody else, and there's nothing we could do about it. We didn't choose to be in safety, and they didn't choose to be in a war zone. They were born over there. They didn't have a choice. They didn't choose that. Now I'm not talking spiritually. I'm saying 3D wise. They didn't choose to be in that. They didn't. A lot of those babies, they didn't choose to be born in that situation. So life is not gonna be fair. Life is not going to be fair. Life is not going to be fair, guys. And I've learned that in my own experience. So when you choose to count your blessings and you choose to look at it from a different perspective that makes you at calm and makes you at peace, you'll accept a lot more. You'll learn to adjust to life, because that's just how it is, guys. You know what I'm saying? And it's been happening for decades. It's nothing new. So for those who are freaking out and are already, I mean, it's one thing if people are just freaking out to freak out, but then they're already in a bad situation, and now they're watching the world and they're in an even worse situation. You don't want to be there. Vibrationally, mentally, you don't want to be putting yourself in that position where your own world is falling apart. And then on top of that, the world is falling apart. There has to be an equilibrium. There has to be a landing point where you say, okay, the buck stops here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not good. It's one thing if the world's on flames, but then if your own world's on flames, on fire in a negative way, it's gonna expand. So what I've been trying to do is get away from all that. You know what I'm saying? What I've been trying to do is ask myself, because a lot of people say that, you are a reflection of the world. You are also contributing to the world's vibration. So if your vibration's very low and you think very negative, well, guess what? The world's going to reflect that. You know what I'm saying? The world is going to magnify that. It's going to expand upon those negative thoughts. This is why I'm saying it's so important for us, no matter how hard it is, to try to find something that makes us feel light. Try to find something that makes us feel happy. And like I said, if you are watching the news and you're getting affected negatively, at some point you're going to have to turn it off, and then go back if you want, or whatever you want to do. That's what I've been doing. If there's a report Excuse me, guys. Sorry. I was cleaning so much yesterday night. Oh, my Lord. I think I did like 20 loads of laundry. I think I was telling you guys in the last stream that I haven't been able to do laundry for the longest. I think that was the longest time that I've actually been without doing laundry. I did like probably 20 loads. Yeah, but no one says that life is fair. No one says things are always fair. They're not. You know, and when you accept that about life, a lot of things just roll off your back, you know. A lot of things just roll off your back because you realize, okay, you know, it could be them today and it could be you tomorrow. You know, it's just life. And nobody said life is pristine clean. Nobody said that life is, you know, cute and cherry and joyous all the time. Nobody said that. You know, life sometimes is brutal, is nasty, is barbaric almost, you know. Living life sometimes is very barbaric, you know, dog eat dog, you know, but that's a certain vibration. That's a certain mentality. So the way that you ascend out of that is you think differently, you behave differently, you talk differently. So while the whole world is you know, panicking and putting that negative energy out there, me and mine, I'm over here like, listen, we're gonna pray. We're gonna, I mean, I've been completely calm. And maybe because I've already seen it coming, so I was like, okay, like that wasn't a surprise to me because I already felt that was, I mean, actually the day before the news picked it up, I already was feeling something like that, you know? Guys, when the economies of the world are weak and when the economies of the world are in a twisted state, they're gonna do this. You know, it's not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? When economies of different countries are not prospering, they're gonna pick on the little guy. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna pick on whoever they think they can pick on to boost themselves up. You know, that's just kind of like World Economics 101. So I'm not surprised because it happened with Russia. You know, Russia decided to find an opportune moment to, you know, try to take back Ukraine. This is like pretty standard, you know what I'm saying? So that's my perspective anyway. So there is no crime. There is no crime in staying at peace. There's no crime in, you know, remaining calm. Because the true sign of strength, especially in these perilous times, is how mentally strong you are. That is the sign of somebody who's in control. When you're not in control, your emotions overtake you. When you're not in control, you spiral. And you're not spiraling to nothing good, you're spiraling downward. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing grown adults fighting in the street, fighting on social media, you know, posting all these videos, running for their life in America, not even in the Middle East, in America. Why? Because they've been sucked in. They've been sucked into that timeline, that storyline, that way of thinking. And so what happens? Their whole body now is out of whack. You know, they're getting sick. They're going to jail. Oh yes. Oh yes. They're fighting people that are strangers. I mean, can you imagine? You know, I have not fought not one person. I don't care what a person's stance is. I have not been on not one social media site about this whole war stuff. Not even with the European war, and have debated anybody. And there's people out here that debate all day long, and it's like, bruh, what is that gonna fix? You know, you trying to have somebody else see your side of the story, see your perspective, is not gonna fix a damn thing. You know, you going on any of these social media platforms and saying, stand with this, stand with that, it's not going to fix anything. They're still going to have a war. They're still going to be hurting innocent people. They're both going to lose innocent people. Both sides are going to lose innocent people. So what is that doing exactly? What is that doing exactly? It's like trying to convince an atheist about Christianity or an agnostic about any other religion out here. It's like walking up to somebody who's an atheist or an agnostic, trying to have them see your side of the story. They're not going to see it. They're not going to see it. So don't waste your breath, you know? Don't waste your breath, because everybody has their own perspective. So my perspective is, this has been happening for decades, for centuries, millennia, you know? And it's something that they have to sort out, you know? In America and other countries trying to get in between is only going to make it worse. It's only going to make it worse, truthfully. And you all are good. You all are going to see that, especially financially. You all are going to see that next year. I mean, it's all going to come out next year. I mean, next year, 2024, the whole world's going to see it. You know what I'm saying? The whole world's going to see how much damage all these things are doing. You know what I'm saying? From the pandemic to Russia and Putin to now the Middle East. They're going to see that this is not helping anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not helping anybody. So next time you freak out and you lose sleep and, you know, you fight somebody on Twitter, ask yourself the real question. What is that going to fix? Nothing. You know, congregate with people who think like you. That's the safest bet at this time. You know, if you have a certain stance and you see like-minded people who have a certain stance, okay, talk with them. But trying to go across the aisle and physically fight and argue is not going to fix anything. It's going to just make it worse. So I don't do that. On social media, I stay away from all of that. And I agree with people that agree with me. Luckily, I have that kind of people. I don't have people that I follow or that I like that are not like-minded. And if they are different-minded, I just don't pay any extra attention. I just don't give any energy to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem. I just, you know, I just mind my business. That's what I do. I say, okay, cool, whatever. Because I'm not bothered like that. You know, people can have their own opinion. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to remind us that this is the world we live in. You know what I'm saying? This is the world. And if we think that lowering our vibration and giving into panic attacks and anxiety and heart attacks and depression is gonna create world peace, it's not. And there may be nobody else on the internet or even in the waking world that will tell you this, but I will tell you this because someone needs to say it. You know what I'm saying? Someone needs to be realistic here. You know what I'm saying? Like giving into depression and alcoholism, you know, and dark thoughts is not going to save anybody, guys. And I even can take it farther and say that no matter how hard we pray, even how hard we pray for innocent people on both sides, it's not going to stop them from getting taken out of here. If one missile goes into somebody's apartment and blows up, we cannot stop that missile, guys. So it's really for none, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I don't like stress about it, because That's not in our control. It's not. So, and maybe that can also, segue into people being afraid of dying. You know, some people are afraid of death. That could be what it is. People that are freaking out, maybe they're freaking out because they're afraid of dying. You know, they're afraid of what happens when you pass over, when you transition. I'm not afraid of that. Never have. I'm not afraid of, you know, that last breath that we all take. It's a life cycle. You know, death and rebirth and living and dying is a part of life. It's a part of life. We all, somehow, some way, we're out of here. If you believe in reincarnation, you believe in incarnation, then you believe you come back, or you have a choice to come back here. That's a personal perspective. That's not the topic of the video. You see what I'm saying? So choose what you put your energy into, and choose what you engage with at work, on social media. You know, don't get caught up in these traps I see people getting trapped up in, you know, of, you know, these debates, and, you know, wasting hours and hours and hours on things that no one can change. No one can change it but the people involved. You see what I'm saying? That's something that's been set in stone for centuries now. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear people say they cannot sleep and that they're, you know, having panic attacks, I'm like, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing? Because you're not being conscious is what it is. You're not stopping and slowing down and looking at the reality of a situation. And so maybe I just needed to be a person today for one person out here to you know, have you slow down, you know, have you calm down and slow down and look at the reality. You know what I'm saying? Some people and some territories are just always going to have an issue with each other, you know. Same thing with races of people, you know. I'm saying different skin tones, you know, if you're going to keep it real, you know. Some people are just set in their ways, and it's not for anybody in particular to debate that out of somebody or to hurt that out of somebody. It is what it is, you know. And until people decide to grow up and move past all that petty stuff, well, we're going to keep having a world like this, man. We're going to keep having to exist in a world full of people that can't grow up, you know, and can't just mind their business. And that's why it's like this. So I hope you all have a great, you know, rest of your day. I hope you guys have a great holiday season. I hope that all this stuff you guys see in the media, you know, whether domestically or abroad, I hope it doesn't affect you guys in a way where, you know, you're not at peace. Because once you don't have peace, everything will spiral. Everything tends to spiral, you know. More negative thoughts can seep in. And so I've learned from the pandemic that, you know, once you get into that zone, it's hard to get out, you know. It's hard to detach yourself. It's hard to think logically, think rationally. Once you get emotional, once you know, pick sides and all this type of stuff, it's a spiral, you know what I'm saying? And at that point, you've lost control. So think logically about it, you know what I'm saying? Think logically, think rationally. Has this happened before? Yes. Will this happen again? Yes. Okay, so that's all you need to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been happening. It's gonna keep happening. There's gonna be certain countries that have stake in other countries because of the money, and that's not gonna change either. Okay? So once you accept things for the way they are and what they've been and what they will be, you know how to live lavishly. You live in peace. You live in harmony. You gravitate towards like-minded individuals. And, yes, I'm very happy I can say that. I'm happy that I can come on here and say, you know what? I have people around me, and even social media wise, that, are on the same wavelength. You see what I'm saying? The same wavelength. And I'm not going to lower my frequency and my vibration because the news and the media wants me to. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people behind the scenes that have created this and wanted to create this mess, and they're going to keep doing it. If they profit in their pocket, they're going to keep doing it. So it's nothing new, guys. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. We've had other years. I can't even remember. I can't even recall. There's been other years. I remember I was on YouTube. There's other years where there was attacks and different things like that. I want to say, in other parts of the world in December. I remember there was one year in December. It was about to be the new year, and there was this whole breaking news story. And it's nothing new. Around the holiday season, around the end of the year, something always pops off, guys. It's a tale as old as time. It always happens. So being alarmed, there's no reason to be alarmed. There's no reason to be alarmed at all. This has been happening. It's going to keep happening. So, if we cannot, literally, we're not able to do, excuse me, I take a nap. We're not able to physically do anything. I'm not going to get worked up about it. Sorry, I'm just not. Not that I don't, feel bad for the innocent. We all do. Of course we do, right? But I'm talking about people that are taking it a bit too far. You know what I'm saying? They're taking it a bit too far. And, now they have these crises because they're, whether they know it or not, they're inviting this kind of energy into their life. They have it on all their TVs in their house. They're angry. They're doing things that just is like very childlike to me. You know what I'm saying? And I speak for people that have worked hard this year. We've worked so hard, and the last thing we need is to be having people draw us into their nonsense and into their debates because they want us to feel some kind of way. I don't feel any kind of way, because guess what? It's been happening from the beginning of time. So we're not a referee. We're not a referee. We're not Abraham. You feel what I'm saying? We can't go back in time, guys. Life is always moving forward. We can't go back in time and fix that, okay? They can fix it. We can't fix it. And America is always trying to do something, and it doesn't work, and it's always for profit. It's always for the money. So those that can't see that, well, they're never going to see it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good over here. I hope that y'all are good over there. I've been getting a lot of good sleep. If y'all can't tell, I have been loving it. I love fall. I love winter. I love the end of the year. I love the festivities. I love the decorations. I love when the temperature drops a little bit, just a little bit, and it's nice and cozy. I love it. So I'm going to keep being happy. I'm going to keep, not stressing out like people out here stressing out. 1 second, let me just make sure this thing is legit. 1 second, y'all. Yeah, people out here stressing out, people out here losing their minds, and that's their own decision. You know what I'm saying? But my decision is to be in perfect peace, because I've been saw this coming. I've been saw this about to happen, and I'm not surprised in the slightest. I'm really not. So I hope you all enjoy your holidays. I hope you all are having a great week. You know, don't get sucked into the negativity. Don't get sucked into the low vibration, because it's very low vibrational. You know, if you're seeing people, you know, on the street, you know, covered in blood, that's not going to make you feel very positive. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it as well. You know what I'm saying? I watched it as well. But like, once I start to feel some kind of way, like, I gotta, you know, switch it out, because then at that point, I'm taking in visuals, I'm taking in energy that I don't need to be taken in. You know what I'm saying? Not everything that's for public consumption needs to be taken in like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like other coverage we see out here. You know, there's other stories that have happened, you know, over here in America, and if you take it in, it messes with your mind. You know what I'm saying? It really makes you like hypnotized. And I've been in those states. You know, I've experienced that. And once you get into that kind of train of thinking, it's hard to pull out. So I'm just saying, be careful, guys. Be careful. There's a lot of negative, you know, a lot of negativity out here, a lot of negative stories, a lot of negative press. And you know, it's up to all of us to try to keep the light on. You know what I'm saying? Keep the hope alive, keep happiness going, and being grateful. You know, having a heart of gratitude is gonna take you away from a lot of energetic vampires, a lot of negativity. It's gonna safety guard you. So yeah, I don't know. I was just quite alarmed. I was genuinely alarmed, guys, when I saw so many people, thousands of people, saying how, you know, they're just not okay. They're not you know, they're not eating properly, they're not sleeping properly, they're not able to relax. You know, their legs are jerking, their hands are shaking, they're like in a state of panic. And I was shocked, because I'm like, well, I'm not experiencing that. I care. I still care, like any of you guys out here care, but I'm not in distress. You know, I'm able to still function, right? But there's a lot of people out here that are not able to function. And I'm like, wow, like that's kind of sad, because, well, what are you going to do next year? You know, what are you going to do when it's the election and the media is going to really take it up a couple notches? You think this is bad? You think this is bad now? Wait until next year. So if you can't, and I mean this with all the love in the world, if you can't, okay, if you can't get yourself together this year, you know, you can't get your, you know, your mental health, you know, your mind at ease, you know, you're probably not going to live long, for one. For two, you're going to bring sickness on yourself. And for three, you're going to be out of control. You're going to be forgetting things. You're going to be, you know, stressed out. And like I said, it's going to get worse. I'm going to say it in plain English. It is going to get worse. So if you're mentally strong for all this now, with 2 active wars, and it could be 3 now, could be 3 active wars, but right now you have 2 active wars, right? Both that America, if you live in America like myself, both that America is trying to take on their back to fish out money to help these certain people they're on the side of, right? Whether we agree or not, they're wanting to give all this money, right? What the hell are you going to do next year in 2024? You know, if you're having breakdowns and you're, you know, having panic attacks and you're not sleeping, what are you going to do next year? What are you going to do when we have 3 wars? What are you going to do when we have a World War III? What are you going to do if we have World War III, is my question to all those folks who can't keep their shit together. What are you going to do then? What are you going to do then? Because The world war that people keep fear-mongering about and keep trying to press for hasn't even happened yet. Like, officially on paper, they've not said we are in World War III. They have not said it yet. So I'm saying, if somebody was to come on the news tomorrow and say we're in World War III, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You have to be mentally strong, guys. You have to be strong. You can't let every little thing in life get to you. Being intuitive, being with God, being in spirituality, okay, or just whatever. I hate titles, right? Whatever, okay? Believing in a higher power, whatever phrase you want to use, okay? You understand that we are mere mortals, bruh. You know, we are mere mortals, and everything does come to an end. You know what I'm saying? At some point. So there is no reason to panic, guys. There's no reason to stress out, because it's happened before. It's gonna happen again. And this is just life, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have trained myself. I have trained myself very differently. You know, I have trained myself since the pandemic. I have almost forced myself to think differently because I knew it was going to get bad. I knew it was going to get really, really bad. So I told myself, okay, you know, this pandemic thing don't look too good to me. I think we're in for a long ride here. You know what I'm saying? And I was right. I was completely right. And ever since, I've just been training myself to just think differently. You know what I'm saying? To not let things get to me, because if you let things get to you, it's just a matter of time before, you know, everything's going to break down. Everything's going to break down. So it's only wisdom, you know. It's only wisdom to know what you have control over and know what you don't have control over, and try to be level-headed, you know. But I'm just saying this because there's some people that are not aware that, you know, next year could be even as worse, if not worse. If you think this, I mean, I think this year was great. Now, if you think this year was bad and you're thinking that, oh my God, next year's gonna be worse, okay, then how are you going to survive is my question. How are you going to be able to function? That's all I'm saying. And if you don't, and if you're not coping right now, then a chance of you coping next year is slim to none. And so people have to get that mentality in their head, like, this is nothing. This is nothing compared to what's coming, guys. Okay. You know, some places got $3 gas. Other places got $7 gas. Okay. No one said it's fair, but it's life. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're all gonna get hit from different things. You feel what I'm saying? And it's up to us to let it affect us, or to just kind of brush it off. Brush it off. Brush it off. Because God is in control. If you believe in a God, God should be in control. If you believe in a God, God should be the one that is, you know, the Alpha and Omega. And we are an extension of that, but we don't have to take the world on our shoulders. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate that some people, they feel that they have to, you know, they feel like they have to fight every battle. But the older you get and the more you know about life, you will learn that you don't have to fight every battle. You know, you don't have to fight every battle, guys. Not every battle that life calls you to fight, you have to fight. Not every single battle that life calls you to fight, you have to fight. You can choose to be at peace. You can choose to say, you know what? I don't want to deal with that right now. No, I don't want to deal with it right now. You have that power. Just like you have the power to turn off the TV, you have the power to, get a good sleep at night. You have the power to make more money. You have the power to be at peace. We have the power to make certain decisions. And it's only when we think we don't have power that things go wrong. What we have control over, we have control over. And that's my message for today, is still look forward to the holidays. Look forward to, if you have time off, or, the daylight savings or whatever, so have you, more time to sleep, more time to rejuvenate yourself. When you're off of work, take advantage of that, because next year is going to be even more intense. And so if you have that knowledge in the back of your mind, you're not going to look at the news. You're not going to walk around in life with what do you say, a chicken with no head? You're not going to live like that when you know better. When you know better, you do better. So I've done my research, what I'm saying? I have done my research. I have been tracking world events for the longest. I have been predicting things for the longest. And this is just the beginning, guys. So if this is getting under your skin, retrain yourself, regroup, regroom yourself, and reprogram your mind to make it not a big deal. So that when next year is more intense, or when you see things are getting more intense, you're at the same peaceful state. You're at the same peaceful state because you've trained your mind in a way where you're not overtaken by crisis. You're not overtaken by, oh, what now? Oh. Like you're not scatterbrained, right? You're not all over the place. You're sound-minded, you're confident, you're strong, you're focused. That's how we have to be walking into next year. We cannot go into next year discombobulated, guys. We can't afford to do that. We can't go into next year losing our minds. For me, I think 2021 was like that. 2021 was a year that was very scattered. And I think last year was a slight improvement, but it wasn't as good as this year. For some reason, to me, this year was just really, 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 really nice. This year was very, very, all the cylinders were clicking. All the things were working, like even if there was, bumps in the road, it wasn't as bad as, 2021, in my opinion. So the way that I'm programming my reality is, okay, if 2023 was good, I'm trying to program my reality to where 2024 is even better. You know what I'm saying? Now, how many people are thinking like that? Not many. But that's how you have to think, because guess what? Other people in the world are totally unaffected. You know what I'm saying? And it's only us that they're forcing to program us to get them, to get mixed up in those things, and then we are at a low vibration. It's by design. It's by design to get us worked up. So yeah, I don't know. I can watch the same news that everybody else watches. I can watch the same coverage that everybody else is watching, but like people talking about going to the hospital and anxiety and depression, and I'm like, I cannot relate. I've not even experienced that. I've not even experienced that. So I'm like, wow, I don't know. I've been fine. So I don't know. But on a personal level, every year could get better for us, the world can be falling apart, but guess what? On a personal level, it could get better and better and better and better and better, from glory to glory to glory. We can choose that reality. you know? So I'm like, well, if we can still survive and be happy, amongst all this chaos, can you imagine if there's more chaos next year and we're even happier and we're doing even better? This is a possibility that I'm now beginning to look into. It's like, wow, we can still choose happiness. We can still choose happiness. My throat's dry. We can still choose gratitude. We can still get good sleep at night. We can still eat healthy. We can still have fun. Why do we have to be in misery? Because they want us to? Because they want us to? No. Not over here. Not over here. So, yeah, I don't know. Am I just in the minority of people that are, not having issues sleeping? I don't know. I've not had an issue sleeping, but I was alarmed. That's I was really alarmed when I saw people saying that. I was like, wow. Let me get this straight. You have work. You have to go to work. You got to pay bills. And you are personally robbing yourself of 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours, if not more hours of sleep. Because of what exactly? Are they going to pay your bills? Are they going to put food on your table? I bet they're not. So that's all I have to say about that. So I was like, well, if that's going to mess up what I got going on, then I guess, I can't entertain it. Because I still got bills and I still got things to do. And, even if they came on the TV, even if whoever came on TV tomorrow and said, World War III, okay, and like, can we control that? No. Can we stop that? No. So life will go on. And when life stops going on, that's when we've transitioned. And that's how life works. You know what I'm saying? It's all natural, guys. Birth and death is natural. It is not an unnatural thing. From old age, whatever. We're all going to get out here one way or another. So I don't know why death is looked upon as something so negative. Like, death is a part of life, And maybe people are afraid of dying. That could be what it is, If some people are afraid of dying, then I guess, they would have fear. But I'm not afraid of it. So to me, whatever happens, happens. If it's out of my control, then why am I going to get angry about it? Why am I going to stress about it? Why am I going to lose sleep about it? Why am I going to do that? And this is what I've learned from the pandemic. This is what the pandemic taught me, guys. When I saw people, when I was just getting up in the morning, I would hear these ambulances and people screaming, and I'm sure you all experienced your own kind of thing too with the pandemic. That was out of my control. I still had to go to university. I still had to go to work. I still had bills to pay. And they were taking people in ambulances every single day. It didn't stop shit. It didn't stop anything. And some came back out healthier and some didn't because they didn't follow instructions. And that's their own fate. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I mind my business. I mind my business. So that's just kind of how I think, like, we're not Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? We're not even Allah. We're not any of those things. Those things are an extension of us. And so if you act like you have to go around being everybody's savior, you're going to be drained. You're going to be very drained. If you want to try to solve every world issue, you're going to be drained. And I can assure you that Biden and Kamala Harris are not even doing that. And they are the leaders of the free world. They are the president and vice president of America. And they're not even doing that. They're not even doing that. I can assure you. I can assure you. If they're smart, they're still getting their sleep. They're still eating good. And there are people that they are the ones that actually can do something about it. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones who are the presidents. They actually have power to do something. We don't. So if anybody should be freaking out, it's them. You know, if anybody should be freaking out, it's all the world leaders that got all the puppet strings to pull to figure this crap out. You know what I'm saying? If anybody should be freaking out, it's them. So let them do their job, guys. Let Biden and Kamala and anybody else that wants to get involved, let them do their job. They get paid to do that. We don't get paid to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's real tea. So I love y'all. Y'all, you know, get some extra sleep, okay? I'm so thirsty to get myself some water. I'm gonna get off here. Get some extra sleep, y'all. That's my advice. Get some extra sleep. You know, do some more self-care. You know, watch a comedy. Listen to some music. You know, laugh a lot. Laugh a lot. Laugh. Enjoy yourself. Because life is precious and life is short. And you know, there's just certain things in the world, about the world, that, you know, are gonna keep happening. You know what I'm saying? Are gonna keep happening. And that's just that. So love y'all. See you in the next video, okay? Bye.